Om Sai Namaha. We are with Gautam ji once again today. Gautam, thank you for your time as always. And today we'll be discussing a very special book that has come out. It is the Sai Satcharita Commentaries. This is based on the audio series done by Vinny Ma, and it's a very important piece of literature for every Sai Baba devotee. Just to give devotees a little bit of history about the book, when the Sai Satcharit was written by Hemadpant, he himself made multiple references to this point that he had to stop himself from writing more as the book would have become very big. And I asked Vinny Ma, I said, Ma, there are so many leelas, some interpretations, additional peripheral information which only you have because you've done research, met the Mahabhaktas, the descendants yourself for over 30 years. So I humbly requested her that if she could do a commentary on each chapter of the Sai Satcharit to give devotees that perspective, that information. And she very kindly agreed. So, how it happened initially was it was an audio series which most of the devotees must have heard on the channel, and we gave her some basic framework to help her with the research. And thereafter, over the whole period of the COVID lockdowns, she did the audio commentaries, and that got published. Thereafter, I felt seeing the seriousness of the content, it had to come in a book form. And after 5 years of editing, this has come in publication both as a paperback and a hardbound edition. And I feel with the Satcharit, and for devotees who don't know, this is the edition Vinny Ma would recommend, the one by Indira Kher, because it is the word-to-word translation of the original work by Hemadpant ji. And the abridged edition is wonderful. It's played its part in Baba's prachar, but most of Baba's words and the teachings are sort of paraphrased and removed. So, for every devotee, they must have a copy of this book. If they don't have this, on the Shirdi Sansthan's website, they have the Samarth Satcharit, which is again a translation of the original work by Zarin, which is equally very nice. That is available as a free download. So you must have either this or Zarin's edition and read that. This complements the Satcharit. So,
Nick, I think you've raised this point a few times because even I was not aware that besides the small abridged version with the red cover, there was this full edition. And any devotee, like so many, keep the Satcharit by their bedside. Therefore, your emphasis on the full volume is very relevant. And to me, the fact that the commentaries have emerged, I would say that anyone who is reading the Satcharit regularly or who has read it in the past, it is not just an important book, it is a must-have companion. Because you see, even the source of the material is from someone like Vinny Ma doing her research. So the dedication and the authenticity of it is impeccable. And we all know that many aspects of the Satcharit are not easy to understand also. So an additional commentary from such stalwarts is of tremendous importance. I would really feel that these should be one, the original book and the commentaries. And I feel that in the pandemic, a lot of important work has come out. That this also, the body of interviews you did with her, you see, they all have a divine purpose which in the present moment it doesn't reveal itself to us. Later on in time, I feel that the commentaries will become as important as the original Satcharit. That is my view of it. And so it's not about encouraging readers to buy it. It is a must have. If you are a Baba devotee and you have read the Satcharit, then this is bound to give you a broader view, deeper insights, and also hold your current understanding of the leelas and the stories in a more solid grip. So I know it would sound like overhyped maybe, but I do feel that this is in fact the most important book to come out in recent times, and this must be made known to the entire Baba community the world over. That is how I feel about this book, because you know how I feel about Vinny Ma. Although I didn't meet her, whenever you spoke about her, the work you did with her, you were constantly telling me. So I feel this is a real gift, and I know how hard it is to transcribe the spoken word into the written word. As a publisher, I know how much effort and time it takes also to retain the original quality of the spoken word. So that dedication, devotion is all behind this. It is incredible. I really marvel at how after 100 years all this is coming out. It's really an important moment for me, specifically in Sai literature, which is emerging. It shows that the master's teachings are even more relevant today than ever. As you and me have seen this for a fact, more and more people are drawn to Baba's teachings, and this will really support them in their deep dive into what Baba has been saying.
I would also like to share a little bit about Vinny Ma and her commitment, and just so devotees who may not be very familiar with her. She spent over 30 years in Shirdi, leaving everything. She was a doctor in the US and has first hand met the descendants. She went to Shirdi when she was a very young child. She met Das Kanu Maharaj. She sat in the lap of Narasimha Swamiji, and her journey started at the age of 6. She met Abdul Baba. So, having met the descendants, having met the Mahabhaktas, then going to these places, like going to Bhutti's Haveli in Nagpur, it's very different when you do research, reading things online and putting it, and it's very different when you have first hand accounts. There are
Yes.
certain things the descendants have shared with her, which she told me in private, which she's never put into any of her writings. And when you hear these, you really realize the authenticity. It is divine grace that has flowed through her. And I humbly request devotees to get this. And also, just to share one example, one uh, devotee has an Instagram page. I'll share the link in the description. She started posting snippets from this book, and as prachar, every day she would put one leela from every chapter. And because of her one effort of prachar, we were not able. This book has got published maybe 5 or 6 months ago, but we've been so busy that because of one devotee's effort, we were not able to do videos on the channel to even make an announcement properly. It's only today, after months, we are making an announcement. So, in whatever way you can help in prachar, if you can post reviews, you can take snippets, share it, do videos. This is an important work, even with Purna Parabrahma, that it is our moral duty to share this with the community.
I notice you also have a paperback version.
Yes. The paperback came initially. Seeing its significance, we got a hardbound edition. So both are available on the website.
Well, for me, it would clearly be the hardbound, because one would be so
Keeping.
frequently referring to it that it will help preserve the.
So again, I think both the Indira Kher translation and the commentaries devotees must have, and I'm very surprised that when I go to Shirdi and meet people, many don't know about the full edition, and they've been worshipping Baba for years.
Yes, absolutely.
Then some of them say, after reading the Satcharit, the full edition, I mean, many things revealed themselves. So I'm very happy when I hear that, but I think even this book has to be propagated, the
Yes.
Satcharit, to
Yes.
many, many people who don't know about it.
It's true. It's like, the core body of work has been mistaken to be the abridged version.
It played its part in the 60s and the 50s, where honestly it did a wonderful job telling people about the miracles to draw people in.
Yes.
But now, I mean, there's not a corner in the world, literally, where people don't know about Baba.
True.
But now I feel is the time where we are ready to dwell into Baba's teachings, what Baba has shown us. And I keep saying this to everyone that Baba's path of service, karma, is most relevant today. You know, with so much suffering all around, that it's literally only Baba's way, that is, Baba has shown us by his own example.
And what I'd like to add, Nick, if I may, is you see, when we look at Ramakrishna Dev and the Gospel of Ramakrishna, it's a big volume. When I look at the teachings of Sri Aurobindo, when I look at the teachings of Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi, there's voluminous work, be it talks, be it actual writing, whatever it may be. There was always this question mark that was the main body of Baba's work, just that abridged edition. It's not that we are saying it's not enough. What I'm saying is, when I myself realized that this volume is there, which is very comprehensive, it was an eye-opener.
And this is the original work that Hemadpant
That's
wrote.
precisely the point.
Yes.
So in this case, what has happened is that knowing that there's actually the original work has happened after the abridged version has become popular. So we are kind of retracing steps back and telling people now, not only is this there, which is the original work, but there's also this, which is now equally important since you have been made aware of the original work. If I may recommend what worked for me, I have read only 10 chapters so far. But what I did was, I first read 10 chapters, one chapter in that book, the same chapter in this book, the next chapter in that book, the next chapter in
And
this
that
book.
is the recommended way. When we
Yes.
did the audio commentary as well, that is the recommended way, that you do your reading and hear the commentary. Now, in this case, do the reading of this book.
Yes. My bias is towards the hardbound. Paperback is good if we love it so much and we are traveling and it's a bit lighter.
Yes.
But either way, the content is the same and it's a personal preference. But I'm very grateful you've got it in both formats.
I also would like to add, I forgot to share this earlier, that there is a free download of the Sai Satcharita, the full edition by Zareen, on the Kindle library of House of Sai, because on the Sanstha's websites it's a PDF file. We converted it as a Kindle edition, so it's easier for people to read on their phone or their devices. So that is available. The link will be shared in the description.
If I may ask, that is not available as a physical copy?
The Sanstha publishes it from time to time. They have it in Hindi and Marathi, but for some reason the English is always out of print.
Okay.
So therefore I always recommend get the ebook. The PDF, now we have the Kindle edition. So I feel there's no excuse now.
Yes.
Yes. So I would recommend that please read this and share it with others as well.
Yes, but on another note, if I may speak as a book publisher, what we have discovered is that in the last few years, the paperback has come back. Ebook sales have reduced in India as well as in the West. One thing which I'm happy about is this, because I do believe that a physical book has a vibration. That you see, the teaching is a vibration. And I remember this conversation 23 years ago with Eckhart Tolle, the author of The Power of Now, where he too said the same thing, that when you hold a book in your hands, you can actually feel its weight, not the physical weight, the spiritual weight. And such books, if I may say, like even the commentaries, not just the original, when one just has it in the palms of one's hands by the bedside, it's almost like you're having a certain vibration by your bedside. So I just wanted to add this, that one may be an ebook reader, a Kindle reader, but to have the physical copy, if you can allow yourself that luxury or convenience, I would yet recommend to keep one of those copies with you.
Thank you, Gautam. Thank you so very much. Sai Ram.
Om Sai Ram.